What's up, guys? My name is Tyler Enticknap, and I'm here with Broc Glover, and we're doing our first virtual track walk presented by Dunlop Motorcycle Tires, and it's the Monster Energy Supercross ESX competition, and it's going to be going down later today. And right now, we're at Anaheim 1. We're right on top of the finish line right here, and as you guys can see, we're looking at the first corner. We're, looking at the start straight. Coming into that first corner is a really technical sweeper, and it's coming into these 4 sets of rollers. And right now we're actually going to be on board with Marvin Musquin, and he is going to be taking us around the track. And as you guys can see, we're scanning. We got the over-under bridge, and as you guys remembered, 2019 Anaheim 1, it was a mutter. And right now it's looking pretty sunny. We're not going to know what's going to happen, later through the day. But as you guys can see, we're coming in. This is going to be the first corner after the finish line, guys. So this corner is pretty tight. It's going to be pretty technical. And then we're going into a simple rhythm section right here. It's going to be a double single or maybe a triple. And back into this, technically the first real corner of the track after the start straight. And we're coming into right. And then we got a little technical obstacle right here, up and over. They're going to probably be going double, and coming into this 90. And as you guys remember, there was a lot of passing happening right before this over and under bridge. And we're going to stop right on the over under bridge and just check out this track. Right in front of us is going to be a pretty technical whoop section into a standard 65-foot triple, and then U-turn, and then rhythm section back. I think they're going to be going double, triple, and then a double out. But, we'll definitely see what's going to break down throughout, tonight. How are you doing, Broc?
Well, this is going to be exciting. I'm maybe a slightly bit past the generation of video games, but I have a son who's way into them. So I get it completely. And I know that, one thing about e-racing, it's really important to get a good rhythm, keep your momentum, don't go crazy, because a lot of guys can go crazy because there's not a lot of consequences when you crash. You get right back up. The bike's not bent. You don't have a mark on you. You don't have to wipe the dirt off, right? But it's in this situation here, those mistakes are going to cost you time. So somebody can just keep it simple, not necessarily try for the big triple. Maybe you're going to try for just a double or just a rhythm, and just keep that momentum and limit, just really truly limit your catastrophic mistakes.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then 2, one cool thing about, playing these e-races is that your bike's never going to shut off. You're never going to stall out. It doesn't matter if you have a Suzuki or a KTM or a Honda, your e-start, your kickstart is never going to break. So the thing's always going to be running. You're always going to be hopping back on it and ready to go. So, I'm expecting a lot of dirty racing, a lot of people going for quads and just going for the big stuff. But they got to remember, these main events and these races are actually pretty long, and they're going to be, identical. They're going to be 20 minutes for the main event. So you're going to have to throw in a lot of laps, one after the other to, get that win.
Hey, I just want to know, in the e-racing, the participants, obviously we have a 250cc SX class, and we have a 450. Can they feel the torque difference between their E button? Is it like having the turbo button pushed in on that 450 class?
Yeah, no, actually, the two, honestly, like some guys, like if there's not, I don't think there's so much of a separation on the on the video game and stuff like that. They're pretty kind of equal, but you definitely get a lot more grunt and a lot more bottom end power when you're running the 450, and 2, and the whoops, when you click up to that 4th gear, that thing flies compared to the 250.
Okay, there's the answer for all you people that are not as familiar with e-racing. And I have to throw myself a little bit in that category too. I have a hard time just making it around the track and not taking out every tough block cover and a few flaggers, and then just trying to make one lap without just having a big old get off. So yeah, I would not be a challenge for these guys out here by any means.
Yeah, no, and then as I know, I've played with a few of them. I know Josh Hill is pretty good, awesome. Potatelli rips. So I'm looking for, both of them to be in the top 3, top 5. I know, with us being in quarantine, there's a lot of extra time to get, you know, tightened up on your video game, and, you know, we're, you know, quarantining our house. So, you know, they're probably spending quite a few hours after, you know, doing their training, doing their in-house workouts and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. We're going to see if there's any correlation with what you mentioned, you know, between the riders such as like Jet Lawrence and Justin Cooper and RJ Hampshire and Josh Hill and these guys in the 250 class. And I'll be interested to see their lap times on the 250 versus the 450 when it all comes down to the end there. If the guys on the 250s are just as quick or maybe even quicker than the 450s or vice versa.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then, you know, when we go to this next section through here, you know, going through this whoop section, going through this triple right here. This, I actually rode this track and raced it back in 2019. And this corner after this triple was super flat and super technical. And it was really hard to actually get the double into this rhythm section. I know that there was some people actually tripling out of this corner, but it's kind of one of those risk reward jumps where, you know, if you take the risk and you case it, you're going to be ruining this whole entire rhythm section, and you're going to lose a whole bunch of time. And, you know, as you can see, this would be the landing where you could triple and then triple into the corner, where the other line would be a double and then triple, and then double into the corner. So, you know, you're just going to have to kind of pick and choose your lines on risk versus reward and see how much time you can make up or how much time you can, you know, keep the gap. And then, you know, coming to the two massive doubles that I've ever done in Supercross. And this transition right here, what we're rolling into, is just massive. These doubles were absolutely massive. And, you know, when the track was breaking down and the track was getting muddier in 2019, it was very technical. And I think Cooper Webb was only one of the 450 guys that was actually doing it throughout later in the main event and stuff like that. So I know these jumps are going to be technical, and it's going to save a lot of time if you can, you know, ice these every single lap.
I think I remember that too. You know, Cooper, you know, it started off a little bit slower, and then by the time he was able to do this jump, he was really, really making up grounds at the end of that race.
Yeah. So we're going to go into another rhythm section right after this one. And, you know, there was a few interesting lines. There was a inside and an outside line. And then Marvin Musquin goes down. That's how steep that
on the parade lap. No, I mean, this is literally the parade lap. He just crashed. I mean, Marvin, come on, it's only the parade lap. We don't. Last time I saw that, I think Kevin Windham nose wheelied into it over the bars or something. But hey, you can't do that on the parade lap, Marvin.
We gotta give him a little break. You know, he's been off for quite a while, and you know he's coming back, so he's probably a little rusty.
Yeah, look like it.
Yeah, coming into this rhythm section, so there's a single right before this, and then the tabletop where we're sitting on, and you know, you could roll table single or single table, and then, you know, triple on, or there's a couple guys that are quadding out into this bowl corner right before the whoop section. So there's actually a few option lines through this rhythm section, and I know this is a very important one also. If you get it clean, you're going to carry a lot of momentum through this next whoop section. And, you know, the whoops are definitely one of those sections where you can make up or lose a lot of time, especially if you can get into that fourth gear. It's really important on this video game to shift up to fourth gear in the whoops. If you're third, you're going to be almost losing close to a second in this whoop section alone. Yeah,
these are some gigantic whoops in the race. They look like they're gigantic on the ESX game too. And that, it seems like I remember this corner right here is one of the aggressive block pass corners of all time before you shoot back across diagonally across the starting line. And I wonder also, in e-racing, can you get a chance right here to look up at the scoreboard, get a little view of the competition, check out how close they are? Is that a possibility to get a little glimpse of the scoreboard maybe, or maybe not?
Yeah, there's actually a little box in your left-hand corner what kind of tells you what position you're in. So you honestly will always know like what your distance is, and you'll always have like, it's almost like a consistent pit board up in the top left-hand corner of your screen when you're racing. So that's really cool where you don't really have that while racing Supercross and stuff. And as you can see, we're checking out the track. We're coming close to our, on our track walk. But, right here, this corner and this section, I'm looking for a lot of passing happening right here in these two sections, with the whoop being, so long, and then the next diagonal straightaway across the start straight. There's a lot of open real estate for these guys to work the track and to cut down and make a lot of passes.
Well, that's great. I remember it was exciting, and I know the final corner, not only was that one we're coming out of the left-hander before the starting line, there was a lot of passing trying to take place here, and some good block passing and some counter passing back right here in this right-hander, because it's not a full 180, and it's a little less than that, but it was probably maybe a 140 or 50-degree corner, and then this was the big old finish line that, by the time the end of that 2019, all that storm and rain came down, it wasn't always the easiest even to clear the finish line. It got to be such a mess. But what a lap on the ESX track there. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and that, that's it for our virtual track walk presented by Dunlop Motorcycle Tires and Monster Energy Supercross ESX. And, definitely interesting, definitely weird times right now. But we're making it happen.